Okay, so you ready to like really level up your English speaking skills?
Yeah, let's do a deep dive into that.
We're gonna like break down all these practical strategies you can actually use.
Yeah, and these aren't just random tips.
Right.
It's really fascinating how they connect to like how our brains are wired for language learning.
Yeah, exactly. And we've got like a ton of sources here with all these different ideas.
Oh, yeah.
One of the things that really jumped out at me was this whole concept of shadowing.
Oh, yeah, shadowing.
Have you ever tried that?
Absolutely. Shadowing is so powerful. It's like,
Yeah.
you're basically becoming the shadow of a native speaker.
Right.
You're listening to them. Maybe it's a podcast, maybe it's a news clip,
Uh-huh.
and you try to mimic everything.
Whoa.
Their pronunciation, their intonation, even like the pauses.
Yeah, this sounds intense.
It is. It's like,
Yeah.
it's a form of active listening on steroids.
Right.
It's not just hearing the words, you're embodying them.
You're like really getting into it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're internalizing the rhythm, the music of the language.
I mean, I guess that's how we learn as kids,
And
right?
it's tapping into that same mechanism.
Like how?
We learn by imitation.
Yeah.
Think about how kids pick up their first language.
Right.
They're
Well,
constantly mimicking.
yeah.
So shadowing is kind of like tapping back into that.
So if I wanted to like try this out, like how would I even start?
Well, I think the key is to start small.
Okay.
You don't want to overwhelm yourself. So pick like a short audio clip, maybe just a minute or two long,
Okay.
and just focus on like a single sentence or even a phrase.
Okay.
And you just repeat it, try to nail it.
Got it.
And as you get more comfortable, then you can increase the length and the complexity.
Okay. So that's like one way to work on pronunciation and like
Right.
getting the sound of the language down.
Yeah.
But what about actually like speaking out loud?
Yeah.
I feel like that's where a lot of people get tripped up.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, even I get nervous sometimes about
Mhm.
making mistakes.
It's so scary.
It is. But one of the sources made a really interesting point about reframing mistakes.
Okay. How so?
Instead of seeing them as failures,
Yeah.
think of them as valuable feedback.
Okay.
Every time you make a mistake, it's like a little signpost.
Yeah.
It's telling you, hey, this is something I need to work on.
I like that.
Yeah, it takes the pressure off.
Right.
It's not about being perfect. It's about learning and growing.
Totally. And I guess another way to kind of track your progress is like self-recording.
Oh, absolutely. Self-recording is so powerful.
I hate doing it, but
It
it's
can be cringy,
so helpful.
but it is so helpful.
Yeah.
So just record yourself speaking, maybe just for a few minutes,
Okay.
and then listen back critically.
Yeah.
What do you hear?
Right.
Are there any pronunciation errors?
Uh-huh.
Are you hesitating? Are you stumbling over words?
Yep.
It's like having your own personal language coach
In your pocket.
right in your pocket.
That's a good way to think about it. Now, what about finding people to actually practice with?
Oh, that's huge. I mean,
Because it's great to practice by yourself.
you got to get out there and actually use the
You
language.
have to use it, right?
Right. One of the sources suggested language exchange apps in online communities.
Oh, that's smart.
It's a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
You can connect with people from all over the world
Wow.
who are learning your language and want to practice English.
Oh, so you can help each other out.
Exactly. It's mutually beneficial. And it's a fantastic way to get real-world conversation practice.
So what if I don't have a partner right this second? Like,
Yeah.
are there things I can do on my own to kind of
Absolutely.
keep practicing my speaking skills?
There's this cool technique called thinking aloud in English.
What is that?
So basically, you just narrate your day.
Oh, like I'm doing a voiceover from my life.
Exactly, like you're the star of your own documentary.
I love it.
So you just describe what you're seeing. You can even have like a little debate with yourself in your head.
Oh, fun.
All in English, of course.
Okay, so it's basically like taking that internal monologue
Yes.
and saying it out loud.
Exactly. And it's great for a couple of reasons.
Okay, why?
First, it gets you comfortable forming sentences spontaneously.
Right, because there's no pressure.
Right, there's no one judging you.
Yeah.
And second, it really helps to build your vocabulary and fluency.
In like expressing your thoughts.
Exactly. You're not just repeating phrases from a textbook.
Right, you're coming up with your own stuff.
You're thinking in English.
I like that.
And another tip from the sources is to focus on mastering everyday phrases.
Oh, that's a good one.
So things like greetings, ordering food, asking for directions.
The basics.
Yeah, the basics, the building blocks of conversation.
Yeah, if you can get those down,
Right.
you feel so much more confident.
Absolutely. And the more you practice them, the more natural they become.
Yeah, it just becomes automatic.
Yeah, you don't even have to think about it.
And then, of course, there's immersion.
Oh, immersion is huge.
It's like the holy grail.
Right.
Surround yourself with the language.
Music, movies, books, podcasts.
As much as you can.
Yes, make English a part of your life.
Right, not just the subject you study.
Exactly.
It has to be like a lifestyle.
Yeah, and the key to all of this
the key.
is consistency.
That's like the magic word.
It's more effective to practice for 10-15 minutes every day than to have like one mega study session once a week.
Right, little and often.
Little and often, exactly like building a muscle.
Yeah, it's like going to the gym for your language skills.
Exactly.
So we've got shadowing, we've got self-recording, we've got everyday phrases. It's like a whole toolkit for leveling up our English.
What I find so fascinating is that all of these techniques, they really tap into our brain's natural learning mechanisms.
Oh, how so?
It's not just about rote memorization.
Right.
It's about repetition. It's about immersion. It's about connecting emotions to language. Wow.
It's about rewiring your thinking.
That's pretty profound.
It is. It's a much more holistic and I think effective way to learn.
So it's not just about learning the rules of English. It's about like training your brain to think in English.
Exactly.
I love it. So listeners out there,
start
small, stay consistent, enjoy the journey.
Have fun with it.
Yeah, and you might be surprised
how
much progress you can actually make.
You got this.
We believe in you.
Absolutely.
That's it for this deep dive. We'll catch you next time.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.